Hey, what's up, y'all? Ryan here with Hard Knock Labs, and welcome to a the next installation, module two of my Productization 101 course, how to um, increase your profit margins by 20 to 50%. If you're here, you probably saw the last video. If you did not see the last video, check it out right here where I was talking about just introducing the concept of productization. You should probably check that out before you look at this video. But this is module two, where I'm actually going to cover the four levels of scaled services, or as you've been hearing it been called, productization. Again, I like to call it scale service. So let's share my screen so you can see my chicken scratch. Alrighty, let's get this going. All right, so here goes my board. So now, like I mentioned in the previous videos, and if you're new here, so again, I'm Ryan Brooks, um, independent strategy consultant, founder of Hard Knock Labs, and I'm focused on helping agencies and consultancies improve your profit margins by 20 to 50% by scaling up your services. All right. And so when we're talking about scaling up services, there's actually four levels to this. Okay. So, like, if I were to draw this out, it's actually kind of, I want to make my lines kind of straight. So, I'm just going to be a little OD about it. Excuse my, I am a designer by nature, so I have the right to be a little bit whatever about it. But yeah, so let's look at this scale, right? And let's say that the further along the line on the scale, actually, before I even say that, let's just talk about the different levels. So the first level that we have is where you likely are. All right, that's not as pretty. But where you likely are is custom services. All right. So this is where you're offering bespoke custom services to your clients. You might be doing things like so every client that you have has unique individual needs. And this is you actually doing all the front work to understand what their specific needs are, all of that great consulting work, helping coming up with a unique implementation plan, doing that implementation for them, all of those things. So say that you're in a marketing agency, this is you helping them figure out what their marketing campaign will look like and actually creating all of the custom components of that marketing campaign and actually pushing it out and doing it. The next example might be, or another example might be, you work for a software consultancy and you're coming through and doing all the research to figure out what exactly they need for the software to do, standing that software up from scratch, building that thing, iterating, all that kind of stuff, right? That's what the typical agency or consultancy does, right? Now, the next step up above cus- custom services is systemized, how I call systemized services. So now at this point, you might realize that you work within a specific niche and your customers might have a tip, like there might be a typical workflow that your customers go through, or like a typical way that you actually go about solving the problems for them and whatnot, right? So then what you might actually do is you might break down your process into a system so that it's easily repeatable by different people on your teams. So like what you might do is you might create a Notion doc that includes all the different steps for what they need to do as far as like or might have like questionnaires that they ask every single customer. That way you could onboard a new or junior employee pretty quickly, get them up to speed, and quickly get customers ramped up and get them their services that they need. The other cool part about this systemized services is that once you know what these services are, and you have a system in place for them, they're a lot easier to package into packages that you can sell individually. One example might be like, for instance, I help clients with design sprints. It's a systemized process where we can go from an idea of a product to a product within a week, or a product MVP within a week. That way I can sell that as a specific product for them. That's a systemized service. But then next thing when we go up is having an actual product. Now this is actual products that you're actually selling. So say for instance you've systemized your services, right? And now you have like a workbook that you use for your new employees when they actually join and when they need to do these things. Say that you might have some prospective clients that can't necessarily afford your systemized services or your custom services, but they still need some type of solution. So maybe something you can sell to them is the actual workbooks that you use for your internal employees. Obviously, you probably want to doctor it up a little bit, make it seem a little bit more clear for them. But that's something that you could sell to actually introduce future prospective clients to your business and the way that you work, and also make some money while you do it. Another example might be, say you work with, say that you are a design research and design agency, and you end up working with a few different verticals. Instead of doing individual research campaigns for each client, maybe what you might do is do a industry report that you might sell to your clients as well. That's another way of actually creating products. And then the cream of the crop is what we call products as a service. And so this is why you might hear the SaaS, software as a service, or learning as a service, all these different things. And this is where you actually have a product that is doing the services for the clients. And this is the cream of the crop. This is where you're actually getting the most bang for your buck. And so, as you see, these things are on this little spectrum because as you go up, I think these are stuff from last video. As you go up on this, revenue increases. And so does your so revenue increases, profit margins, all of that stuff, right? And then as you go this way, technology increases. So the use of technology. Because here it's very much just like, you do the work, you get that stuff done. Now this is very much high ticket, but it's not scalable. So let's actually just say, instead of saying revenue increases, let's say scalability increases. In turn, increasing your revenue, but scalability is what's actually increasing as you go up this. Because here, it's a one-to-one scenario, right? You need it's not even one-to-one. It's as many people as you need on your team that you need to service that client. So that's where it's not very scalable at all. But as you start doing things like systemizing your services, now you can have a little bit more scale, a little bit more technology because you're using things like, different things to automate your process, or not necessarily automate, but different things to like have your knowledge board and all that kind of stuff, right? Then you start moving up into products. So now you're actually selling different products and things like that. That's a lot more scalable because products are things that you create once and sell several different times, right? So that crazy scalability. And then products as a service, that scales even more because it's getting a lot more done for clients. It's just a lot more technology doing a lot of the work. So this right here is the area that I focus on helping clients out the most with. And one of the upcoming videos in this series, I'll actually share with you my process of how I go about helping clients figure out how to create products as a service, thereby turning them more into a product company. But also, what I'm going to show in the next module is a quick workshop that you can bring to your internal teams to help come up with the different services that you should systemize, as well as different products that you can create within your business. And so I'll show you how to actually do that, how to actually run that workshop. It's just about, I want to say, a 60 to 90-minute workshop where you can come up with a ton of different ideas within your team on how to actually come up with systemized services and products that you can build within your business. Now, when we're talking about increasing your profit margins, this right here up here is where you're really going to see those increases by like that, 20 to 50%. But it's going to take the biggest investment, the biggest upfront investment. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that when I start getting into the overall strategies for products as a service for your business, when you're really including technology into your business. But we'll save that for one of the upcoming videos. Um, the next one, like I said, we'll be going over how you can actually take a workshop, and I'll give you a step by step basis on how to run that workshop to come up with several different systemized services and products for your business. So if you find this any helpful at all, please drop a like and drop some comments and let me know. Oh, quick call out too. If you would like my help, if you're interested in figuring out how to get those products as a services going for your business, actually, I'll include a link in the bottom of this so you can set up a 15-minute call with me to figure out what's going on with your business and see if there's something I can help out with. Absolutely free of charge for that 15 minutes. So, with that, please drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.